when we're talking dessert this week, we are talking about predicting the conference rankings for the Kiwi sides, including Moana Pacifica. So last year, if we just touch on that first of all, it was Blues in the regular season finished first, then Crusaders, Chiefs, Hurricanes, Highlanders, and then Moana Pacifica in last. A special mention to the Crusaders, who obviously won it, so arguably you put them on top. But regular season, the Blues got it done.
Well, the interesting thing is they only played each other once, the Blues and Crusaders, throughout the regular season, and it was the Crusaders' home game, and the Blues got the job done.
Yeah, it was a big game, that one, huge. But we all were very boring last year. We all said the same: Crusaders, Blues, Chiefs, Hurricanes, Highlanders, Moana Pacifica. And to be fair, we're pretty much bang on.
Have you been boring again this year?
No, I've just picked the right teams, mate.
I think it's the exact same.
2023. Let's start with Cargie. Yeah, Cargie's gone Chiefs to win with the return of D-Mac.
Oh, huge.
And I'm assuming that means that he's got Solomon Olomalo in his wing as well.
Surely.
Then the Blues in second place. Razor fall from grace to third with the Crusaders.
That'd be something.
Moana Pacifica to pull it together with Timothy Tavatavanawa in fourth. The Highlanders and Hurricanes, he was having trouble splitting, but he's gone Highlanders and then Hurricanes.
Jeez, that would be all hell if that happened.
I reckon that's the Thomas Umonga Jensen effect that's got the Highlanders over the line there.
Yeah, it's sad that he's not here so we can debate as to why he's so strong in his belief that this is going to be the finishing position.
Yeah, that's okay. Look, it's probably for the best that we don't have him talking. It's
good. It's good for everyone.
Yeah.
If we go into mine, like this was hard. I wanted to do something a little bit different to Harry and what everyone did last year.
Do you want me to say mine so you can rationalise after? Because I feel like you've gone off the... Yeah, okay. I went Crusaders, Blues, Chiefs, Hurricanes, Highlanders, Moana Pacifica. So in other words, the exact same order.
As everyone last year. Look, I've gone the Blues to take the win. Blues and Crusaders have similar home and away games. You know, I think it's going to come down to they play each other once at home each. And this is going to be so tight between these two teams that one slip up is going to be the thing that dictates.
I reckon they'll win one each, and it'll come down to bonus points. Personally,
exactly. It's going to be marginal. Yeah. Right. So I've just done it to be different to you. Cargie's done the Chiefs, so who cares?
He's very different.
Then I've gone in third place. I've actually gone the Hurricanes because the Hurricanes, I think, in the Kiwi draw have the easiest home matches throughout the year, easiest away matches, you know, like not many big names away from home. You know, I think that is what's going to get them over the line. I don't think they have a better team than the Chiefs or the Highlanders, but I think they have
or the Highlanders.
Or the Highlanders. I like the Highlanders this year.
Okay.
I really do like the Highlanders this year.
That's not what your pick shows.
No, but I said because purely based, Chiefs and Highlanders have similar home and away matches,
right,
like the Blues and Crusaders do. The Canes are the ones that are lucky ones out of all this. So I've got them in third, then Chiefs, then Highlanders, ending on Moana Pacifica. I would love Moana Pacifica to leapfrog someone. And last year that could have been, you know, we could have been talking about that as the Highlanders, but the Highlanders look stronger again this year. So that's what we've gone with. Everyone's gone Moana last, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Actually, except for Cargie, he's gone fourth.
Yeah. Breakout days. Yeah. We've got one listener question here from Rev, long-time friend of the pod from Rugby Fixation. He said, Stowers was nearly a one-man team last year. Who replaces his jersey and his work rate?
Look, I think his work rate is split up. You know, like
the answer is no one.
No one does it by themselves, right?
Yeah.
No one does it by themselves. Tom Christie has the work rate around the paddock for tackles and things. No one gets through as much work as him in terms of tackles and things.
Tom Christie. We're going back to Moana Pacifica, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Teammate Stowers.
I was getting too excited.
You were.
Yes. So, no, definitely no one. What am I talking about? There is no one that replaces that man in this side. He was such a big influential player for them. Funaki, we saw bits and pieces of. You know, he didn't have the same work rate, but was very, very exciting when he was working hard. Chucked his team.
I want you to give me an answer out of Anisi, Finau. Oh no, not Finau. Sorry, we got him at 6. Anisi, Tuipulotu, and Funaki. Who's your pick? Or is there someone else? Who replaces him at 8? Or Jack Lamb?
I think maybe it's Lamb, at least to start throughout the years, as we've said with his experience. It could end up being a Funaki or Tuipulotu. I think maybe it's Funaki if he can step up off the back of the year he had last year. He was pretty physical for them.
Yeah, and the question about his work rate is interesting as well, because I really don't believe that the loose forwards in this team can do that, which might mean that it shoves that work rate over to the props and locks. So that may be something that means Sam Slade's a little bit more preoccupied with a lot more defense work, and we might not get to see his blazing hair making runs.
Stairs is one of the biggest losses throughout this year.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. And in a team that does not need losses.
Yeah.
Sadly. Is there anything else? Is that it?
That's it.
How good was this pod without Kagi?
It's the best, mate. Our ratings are always the highest.
Yeah.
And sure. I meant to say as well, mate, we didn't do it at the start of the show, but I saw we're ranked third in the world for all podcasts on our last podcast week. You got to do that on these things.
Yeah. I saw that too. I thought we were bordering second.
Yeah, it was close. Close.
If you haven't heard,
Hamish and Andy, those bastards.
Yeah. The guys at the top of ARU.
Yeah.
Or RA. And
the Eddie Jones podcast.
And the Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones is doing his own podcast. If you're not listening to that as an Aussie fan, or you can be Kiwi, you can be a Pacific Islander fan, that is one of the best coaches in the game who is talking Six Nations, talking rugby. Not as good as our pod. I mean, if you got to this point, this is a big tip for you. But yeah, he's pretty good to listen to.
And look, the last thing I want to mention before we wrap up as well is the casualty ward is out. So I've been trawling through every freaking piece of information.
Yep.
And that is the nice way of putting it. And I think I've been pretty thorough. I've gotten pretty much everything that's out there at this point. I picked up a few that snuck through the cracks this podcast today. Yeah, that's right. So it's all there. Casualty ward is out on draftrugby.com on our blog. So
the single most important piece of anything for a drafter.
Absolutely.
Fantasy football. Literally, I think it is the single most important thing, because you don't only get injuries and who's out, you get when they're returning. You get all these little bits and pieces, and some of them are based not off what's been told to us, but off the injuries and the background, especially from you as a physio. And we've been more correct than articles and other things have been in the past. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on.
Yeah, there was an interesting one on Jack Goodhue today. It just came through on Instagram. They said, he's had an operation in August, coming back from his ACL operation in 2021, and it didn't heal properly. Therefore, he's going to have an operation, and they expected him to be back in 9 months. And actually, now he's going to be back at the start for round one. And I just thought the lineup you don't return from an ACL recon in 5 months, so they've got it wrong. And delved a bit deeper, and he's just had a clean out. So I think he's just had a meniscus tear, which has been cleaned up. So nothing nearly that devastating for him in any way, shape, or form. So sometimes, yeah, that's right. So sometimes the information can be a little bit misleading.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll do. We should wrap up. This is actually a fast one for once. So
it's because no Kagi.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, and thank you for listening.
Hooroo.
Like and share. Sit down.